how are you doing? It's Kat here at Spiritual Candy. Here I am finally with the 101 Love Yourself video, which I have been promising for about a year. Not quite a year, but quite a long time. I do have to apologise because someone is being so needy today, aren't you, Freya? Yeah, she's not very happy because she wants to play with her squeaky penguin, but it's a penguin in a Santa's hat. But she is making so much noise, I've had to take it off her because I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind the occasional little squeak, but it's literally like non-stop. So now she's just kind of trying to bite me and play with me because she hasn't got her Santa anymore. She's only got her quiet toys, which she doesn't like as much. Of videos. So I've started this new series because I think it could be interesting, and what I really want to do, guys, is answer your questions. Okay, so please, for this series, this Musings series, please can you either by email or in the comments below, if you want me to do a video about anything in particular, please can you let me know. First thing, number one, is own it. Be authentic. You know, someone sent me a message once, a big long rant to me about the fact that my videos, I rambled too much. Can you believe it? I mean, you know, this is who I am. I'm going to try not to too much today, but this is the reality of who I am. And if people don't like it, I'm not saying, oh, don't watch. I'm just saying, you know, maybe there's somebody else for you to watch that's a little more concise than me. So don't let other people's opinions or a sense of what is right and wrong stop you from being who you are. So just be yourself. Own it. Be authentic about it. If you have a quality, really step into it and be that quality. And don't worry about the fact that somebody else might think that it's not okay for them, because that's their stuff, not yours. Okay, so however you are, really own it. That's who you are. I've got a frog in my throat. It's so annoying. Never mind. The second thing is Louise Hay has a technique of looking in the mirror every day, every morning, as often as possible, and saying, I love you. Okay, this is perfect. If you can do that, please do that. You know, if you can look at yourself in the eye and say, I love you, that's amazing. But if you struggle with that, if you find it difficult, I mean, Louise Hay does say, I think she actually says it in the You Can Heal Your Life movie, or it's in an interview or something. I saw her talking about it anyway. And she said, if you can't say I love you, say I am willing to love you. If you can't say love you, if it feels weird to you, say I'm willing to accept you. I'm willing to like you. You know, start wherever you are and continue, sort of progress over time. The third thing, I really love this technique. I tried it for myself about 6 months ago. I really found it helpful and I use it quite a lot now. And that is to choose a general affirmation and say it every day as often as you can for a week. So it could be something like, only good lies before me. Only good lies before me, only good lies before me. Why I'm saying one affirmation rather than several is because then it really permeates your consciousness, because you've not got to try and remember it, you've not got to have it written down, because it's just one short statement. I wrote it on my hand to start with, I think, which you probably shouldn't do, but I do sometimes. And literally when I was at the gym, you know, on a cross trainer or on a bike, I was thinking it, I was saying it as often as I could, and it was amazing actually how it raised my vibration. All I would say, guys, is try it. Pick one affirmation, try it, and see how the reality of that affirmation manifests. Okay, because I actually used the one, only good lies before me, and things started to turn. You know, I found that more and more good things were happening. Yeah, so try it and see how you get on with it. The fourth thing is a technique that Teal Swan uses. So when you're in a situation and you are faced with a decision, or you've got to think about what you want to do, or there's something that comes up for you in your life, ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? So this is from Teal Swan's book. I can't remember. I think it's Shadows Before Dawn. I'm 90% certain it's Shadows Before Dawn. What would someone who loves themselves do? Okay, she also has done a video on this in Ask Teal on her channel on here. So that's also something to look up. Okay, but it's as simple as that. It's no more complicated than that. So you've got to make a decision. You've got to do something. You think, what would someone who loves themselves do or say or whatever? So she says it's something to do for a whole year. So that spend a whole year, decision you have to make, everything you have to do, ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? It's a really good technique. It's really helpful. The next thing, which I think is the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, obvious one here, guys, but so many of us fail to do this. Drink lots of water. Eat as healthily as possible. If that's vegan for you, vegan. If it's vegetarian for you, vegetarian. If it's not either of those things, if you're a meat eater, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that, and that is you have to do what you feel called to. You know in your body what feels good to you. Yeah, I don't mean lots of junk food might on the surface taste nice, but you've got to think about what feels right in your body, okay? So you know what's healthy for you and what's healthy. So eat as healthily as you can, exercise, yeah, move your body. You've got to look after the physical side of your body as well as the emotional. If your physical body is not right, not in the best of health, if you are not filling it with nutritious things, if you're not moving your body, you're going to feel bad. Yeah, so to love yourself, you have to do that. And I think it makes a massive difference to your emotional and spiritual health if you are not eating healthily. I really do. So that's a really big thing for me. The next thing is to meditate daily. If it's 5 or 10 minutes, that's fine. If it's an hour or 2 hours, that's fine. But don't let the fact that excuse me, I've got a hair stuck to my mascara. Don't let the fact that it's going to take you, say if you decide I must meditate for an hour, so you don't end up meditating because you can't find the time. It's better to meditate for 10 minutes daily than not at all. I would also argue that if you are, for some people, 10 minutes is enough anyway. Let's just leave it at that because I don't want to ramble. The next thing is listen, read or watch 15 minutes of a positive book or a spiritually awakening, enlivening book or video or whatever every day. So this could be a motivational sort of thing, like say for example Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, there's so many people that, Marianne Williamson, there's loads of people who have written books and they've got spoken books. So you might have that on a CD in the car or on your iPod, or do you know what I mean? Whatever suits you, and that you are actually either watching or listening or reading to something really positive and that's really helping you grow every day. I would suggest at least 15 minutes a day because it just keeps you on track, and that's helping to love yourself. You're moving forward. Your attention and focus is on on the positive, so I do think that that's really important. It's particularly important, I think, as well, because I get quite a lot of people email me saying, I'm surrounded by really negative people, or I'm in a really difficult situation. So this will help you to love yourself because it will give you an anchor, do you know what I mean, in the more awakened world, or the more unconditionally loving world. Does that make sense? I hope it does. The next thing is open your heart. Yes. Open your heart to someone or something every single day. So like for me with Freya, it's really easy. I have a dog. I can spend quality time with her, playing with her, stroking her, and I'm opening my heart to her. But it can be a person at the checkout counter, you know, and it's about coming from the heart, being really authentic, being really open, being really loving towards somebody. So important. It can be a friend, it can be over the phone. If you are totally on your own and you have no opportunity to go anywhere or do anything, it can be looking at a photograph of a loved one, it can be watching something, anything that makes you open your heart, because this is what we're doing. We're trying to locate ourselves again, relocate our true selves, you know, which is within our hearts. And it's about that being in that unconditionally loving place. And this is going to help us to love ourselves as well, because as we open our heart to others, we open our hearts to ourselves. So it's really crucial, you know. It's really good at dissolving ego as well. So to love yourself, absolutely open your heart to somebody else. And this is a really, really obvious one again. This is my last point. It's pretty much what every single self-help book ever has ever suggested. And it kind of seems a little bit like, oh, that one again. But it's so helpful. In the morning, at night, have a little journal, have a little notebook like this, and write 10 things that you are grateful for every morning and every night. You can write 100 if you want, but I'm always looking for ways that are easy, attainable. If you set yourself a goal of writing, you know, 10 things that you're grateful for, 10 things that happened like this, you know, you're going to be sat for 45 minutes. If you have a family crisis, or, you know, the dog chews something up, or, you know, the kids do this or that or the other, or your child's poorly or whatever, and you don't have time, you will say, oh, I don't have time for this tonight, and then you won't do it. Whereas if you've got to write 10 things, you could write 10 things in 30 seconds if you had a mind to, you know? So I think it's really important, because with all these things, it's not about rushing through them. But if you don't have time, if you don't have a huge amount of time, you still need to put that quality effort into showing that self-care, that self-love, you know. So all of these things you can do, you know, in an hour over your day, and you can do a lot of them at the same time. Things like saying your affirmation, you can do that while you're going about your everyday life. You don't need the exercise. You don't need to specifically join a gym or whatever. Just going for a walk around the block for 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day to start with is perfect. You know, you don't need to go crazy with it, but you do need to make that effort. Put the intention into loving yourself. Don't do it consciously. That's what I really mean. Do it consciously. Make that effort towards yourself, and you will see the benefit. So much love to you guys as ever.